You are. Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
ma'am, I can. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. We're gonna get started a little bit on a little, around 8 o'clock. We'll just chit chat. Welcome everybody
Okay.
in. Make sure everybody's sharing the live. Making sure everybody's going, following. If you're in the chat, if you've joined us right now, make sure you're liking, commenting, and sharing both hosts right now. Amanda Sis, TikTok Queen, Sunflower Rodriguez from hottehano.com. So let's
Yes.
get this out to as many people as possible, y'all. This is these conversations, people don't want to miss this. I'm telling you. So share it with your friends.
Like you say, nobody wants to miss it.
Yes, yes. So I was talking to everybody right now about I do the Nutcracker Market. This is going to be my second year in a row doing the Nutcracker Market at the NRG. And I was trying to figure out what I'm going to wear. So I'll share asking I was sharing my outfit with
For
everybody on the live.
Christmas, I was watching but you look beautiful in whatever colors you wear. Man, I just love the way your outfits always match.
Thank you. I
Always.
try.
Because I already know you're Miss Pink Barbie, and if everything's got to stay
Oh,
pink,
yes.
then yeah.
And I wanted to do something pink. Last year I did pink for Nutcracker. I had a little pink in my sweater. And this year
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just started so late. So Patty bought our sweaters this year and
Oh, okay.
it's a red, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just trying to figure out how I'm gonna wear what I'm gonna wear tomorrow. And I have to be up early tomorrow
Oh, I
because I
know.
have to
I
be
don't
at the
miss y'all living in the city. Mm-mm.
uh, oh, I
I couldn't
know.
do it. I couldn't
I
do
know.
it. It's bad enough I got to get up early in the morning, and I half of the time I got makeup just thrown on, and because it's too early. But yeah, it's a sacrifice I got to do. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
All right, La Dreamer has made it in, y'all. Thank you
hey
so
there.
much. I appreciate you coming in and being the moderator for tonight's live. I was
Oh,
waiting on you.
awesome. So you
Yes,
have
I love her.
Miss La Dreamer is the one that's going to do your motivation
The
yeah.
moderator.
Yeah, the moderator. I should know that. I say it all the time, and then just didn't hit me. Hey, but uh, what a great person to have then, because she's always on top of everything.
Oh yeah, I know.
So
Me grita, me grita. I'm like, oh shit. Yes, girl, I love her. Like whenever she can, I'll send her my schedule out because I
mhm.
know she gets busy, and I'll send her my
Yeah.
schedule of all my upcoming lives. And girl, she'll be like, hey, what about this guy? And like she wants me to put people on the live, and she sends me, what about this person? What about this person? I'm like, hell yeah.
Well,
So
hey, you
she's
know what? But
amazing.
that's great when you have a moderator to be there with you, because you get so caught up and busy all the time. Well, you're in the middle of everything.
Yeah,
And people do tend to get a little upset when you don't say hi to them or
yeah,
recognize that they're there. So you having a moderator is actually a great thing to have,
yeah.
because while you're talking and interviewing, you have someone that's interacting with the people that are on with you live.
Yes. And that's
So
what she does. She's amazing
yeah,
at it. She'll welcome them in. She'll thank them for taps and gifts and
yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
yeah.
Yes, sometimes she forgets to post. Yes, I know I forget sometimes.
Hey,
And
you know
she'll tell
what?
me, she'll message me, hey, did you post or are we doing live tonight or you got the flyers? I'm like, oh shit, yeah, hold on.
Oh yeah, there's my co-host right there. What's up,
Ah,
bestie?
good evening. Suavecito from Hot Tejano, y'all.
He was gonna do
Um,
his he does his own TikTok Chronicles on Thursdays, and he said I'm gonna
oh,
postpone it so I could be there to watch you tonight. I said already. So,
oh,
and I got Lupe
appreciate
in the other
that.
room. He's watching, and so my family, everybody's gonna start coming on in a
Awesome,
minute.
awesome.
It's
Good
exciting.
deal.
It's
It is.
exciting.
I mean, I started doing the lives and I just enjoy them.
Yeah.
I've been told I have the gift of gab and I don't mind, I don't mind coming on here and supporting another business, supporting another female, supporting, whatever it is, right? I don't mind doing
Mhm.
that. If I have, my little platform can, reach other people and help other people reach other people, why not?
Hey, that's great, because that's what it takes. We do it all the time, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm constantly talking to people and stuff. And me and Bestie, we're always. Uh, she said, "Be on your." But
Uh-huh.
it's just the fact that it takes a lot.
Yeah.
and for you, I admire the women that get out there and they do their motivation. I have a young lady in Waco, and she's kind of like what is it, women's independence and
Hmm.
women's, and she's married and have kids, but she I give it to them that can do it, and I give it
Yeah.
to you. I watch you go here and there. I was like, this girl
Yeah.
here will never stop still.
No,
So,
I know. I was just, like I was telling everybody on the live before, I have the NRG market tomorrow after the market, after the Nutcracker market, because I do it with my day job. This is my second year in a row that I've hosted one. We have
yeah,
customers come in and whatever. We host customers at the Nutcracker market. And then after that, I'm going to drop off some toy boxes at two businesses, Exclusive Floral Creations on Main Street, and then the Zone. I think it's on Hammerly, the Zone Sports Bar and Grill on Hammerly. So it's not going to stop. It continues, and I'm great. I'm grateful and I'm blessed because my kids
hmm
are grown. I have grandbabies. I
yeah,
make sure I make time for everything, but always giving back to the community, whether it's
right,
something like this or a toy drive or back to school or whatever it is.
yeah,
I enjoy doing this stuff.
yeah.
Matthew, my guy, welcome in. My brother, I haven't seen you in a minute. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. A lot of people are in the chat right now. A lot of people are in the group, and I appreciate that. My sister Margarita's in the chat. Matthew,
Okay.
welcome. Matt the Brat, thank you so much for joining the live. La
Oh,
Dreamer, thank you for being the moderator for tonight. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and get this shared out a few more times, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's see here. Make sure I can. Stickers. I don't know what this means. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I pressed something. Oh, South 36 Cookers, welcome. DJ Suavecito, thank you so much, you guys, for joining the live. Most of you already know who this young lady is, Miss Sunflower Rodriguez from hottehano.com. I'm so grateful to have squeezed her in to my November Boss Babes live stream edition. We started off the week very, very strong. Just local businesses, highlighting local women that are in businesses, building their platforms, right, on social media and on the grounds and brick and mortars, building their businesses. So I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
oh, thank
I
you.
appreciate
It was
that.
an honor. I was really excited about it, and thank you for having me on. It's a great thing, and
Yes,
so,
yes.
but
Make sure everybody who's joining the live, liking, commenting, sharing, and then following Sunflower Rodriguez on all her social media platforms. She's not only here on TikTok, but she is on Instagram and Facebook. So you guys make sure you go and tap all those likes and shares and follow buttons once we're done here. Once we're done in TikTok, once you've done everything you can here in TikTok, go and make sure you follow her in Instagram and Facebook. So,
yeah, and it's
all
easy.
right.
Everything is Sunflower Rodriguez, Hot Tejano. That's
There
so
you
it's
go.
all
Yeah, it's
easy.
not hard.
It's
It's
easy.
not hard. Y'all, my mom has officially joined the chat. Hi, mommy. Remember, mommy? Tap, 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 tap. Don't forget.
That's
Thank
cool.
you for, yeah, this was like a while back. I would tell her how to get into the live. Like she just would
Hmm.
see me, but I wouldn't see her come in. So she was just watching
Oh,
it, but she would have to actually tap to get in. So now she knows how to get in my live. And then I would tell her, mommy, if you tap the screen and give me hearts, it's a good thing.
yeah,
So I
really,
tell her,
really.
tap, 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 tap.
That's awesome.
Awesome, awesome. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. For everybody who's joined us, who everybody's in the group, we have a good amount of people in here right now.
Hmm.
This is Sunflower Rodriguez from hottehano.com, and we're going to go ahead and start with all the questions. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them in the chat, and we'll make sure to get them. Aw, I'm so proud of my co-host. You have come a long way, and I'm so proud of you. Aw, I
Yeah,
love that. All right, so we're going to start with your Tejano roots and journey, okay? Tell us about your journey. How did you get started in the Tejano music scene, and what inspired you to be a co-host or be a host on Tejano, on Hot Tejano?
well, getting started, I wasn't doing radio personality. I actually started at the beginning, like back in 2019. And me and my cousin, he actually was trying to start his own apps driven station. and I wasn't doing anything at the time. My kids are grown, and so he called me up, and my cousin's from Waxahachie, and I'm from Waco. And he said, "Hey," he goes, "what have you been doing?" I said, "Nothing." So anyway, that I ended up, he started his app radio, tried to anyway. He had other things that came up, he couldn't do it. But I became his promoter and photographer and his
Okay.
assistant. So that's kind of how it was a family thing, and we did the first time did fanfare back in 2019. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was back in 2019. And that was the first time I'd ever done fanfare with him. And then I stayed with him. It was something for me to do. It was like a hobby. I've always liked to do photography, and then becoming his assistant and kind of getting him, getting his stuff together. And then within that time, he didn't want to start it up anymore. So he ended up going back to where he was at the Hana Gold Radio. And so with that, I went with him and became still his assistant. And photography, like promoting him and stuff, as far as a DJ wise, and that type of thing. And I did a fundraiser in Waco for Jaime Larma. He was a Golden Glove Olympian. And so he had a gym. He was doing they were needing funds to keep their business going, and at the time my grandkids were going, and he had a program that helped kids that were being bullied. And it wasn't about fighting back, it was by giving their confidence to know they could handle whatever. So at that time, my other cousin, El Primo, we came together and started doing a benefit for him, for the gym, for the kids to have somewhere to go, because no kid was turned down. And so we did a big fundraiser in Waco, and at that time, Suavecito and Celicel were doing terrestrial radio for La Mejor. And I didn't know who they were, because I was barely getting into it. I come from a family that had their own Tejano bands and stuff, but just something. It was just a hobby to start out with. And Suavecito we reached out to each other, and he said, "Hey," he goes, "I'm kind of interested in maybe you coming aboard with me and my partner Sally Sale and being our promoter, like photography and just kind of doing that." And at the time I was doing Tejano Gold, I was going back and forth to Fort Worth and Waco, and it was starting to be a little too much. And so I talked to my cousin, and we decided that I was going to start doing my own thing. And so in June of in 2019, I ended up going to terrestrial radio with Guavacito and Celicel. And all I was supposed to do was take photos while they were doing we had a radio show Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. And so I'd go take pictures of them, and I'd post and did all that stuff like that, like an assistant. Well, by the time you know it, Suavecito said, "Hey, I think you're going to be a great asset to being with us." So I became part of the Hano Outlaw crew, which is what they called themselves. I was kind of snuck in there with them. Well, doing that, they were a big part of a Passion Rides Car Club, which is Wicked Customs, auto and designs that are part of our sponsors in the morning. They had a big car show. And so talking with Suavecito, I decided to go ahead and join their team. But what I did with them, I would go to the Passion Rides car clubs like Lolo's and the Jumps and all that. And I went as their photographer taking photos all the time. And so moving along, people started reaching out to me. "Hey, we have a benefit that we're going to do barbecue community benefits." And so I would tell Suavecito, "Hey, someone's they want to just announce it so they could get people to come and help with the fundraiser." Because we're big about supporting our community. And so if we could get people there, we would. And then I was doing that. I would tell Suave, "Here, announce that. Here, him and Sally Sally." And then one day Suavecito said, "Hey, I want you on the mic." And I said, "Yeah, nope, that ain't going to happen." "Nope, I'm good." Because when I get nervous, I stutter. And I never, ever done radio before, on-air talent. So people reaching out to me all the time. He said, "I'm going to give you a segment. All you're going to do is come on and talk about the benefits that are going on this weekend. And then that'll be your moment." And I'm like, "Okay, I can do that." And so It was a lot. I couldn't do it for a long time. I was scared, stuttering. It was a lot. It was a
Oh
lot for someone that's never done it. And with
no.
Suavecito constantly saying, "You got this. I wouldn't put you if I didn't think you couldn't handle it." And I said, "Well, you should, because I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. It's gonna be all right." And Sally Sell was there with us too, but Suavecito was always the one that encouraged me to come on with them, and I did.
Yeah.
So as that went on, we kept doing the on air 2 nights a week with the terrestrial radio, and then I was there with them, and then in January of 2020, we joined Hot Tejano. They asked if we would come on board as part of their family of Hot Tejano, and so that's what we did. And we had a conversation, we had a meeting, and at the time I told Suavecita, I said, and we were already doing events, other places. He was promoting other, clubs and stuff. So me and him traveled a lot together. And Caselli Cell had his thing going on, and I would always go wherever he went and be part of his promotion, take pictures, and did all that. And then, I want to say in 2022, right before then, we decided to go ahead and go with Hot Tejano. So I was like, "Well, what do you think?" I said, "Look," I said, "if you think it's a good thing, I'm going to go wherever," because the terrestrial radio, they were starting to cut down the hours on what we were doing our show. So we weren't losing anything, and they were great to us and everything. But we joined Hot Tejano, and we became part of their family. So once we did that in 2022, in 2022, we got they had a toy drive. Jared Gomez had a big toy drive, and we ended up going to Austin to do our debut, that we were coming out to be part of that. So it was moving pretty fast, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I can do this, because I had that fear when you constantly think, "Oh, I can't do it, I can't do it." And also obviously the kid saying, "You got it, it's gonna be okay, we got this."
Yeah.
And so we did that, and then we started doing an evening show, which was 2 nights out of the week. And that was a Tuesday and a Wednesday. And us doing that, we started, and we have that vibe. Me and Suavecito have that connection that if you can't tell, we can finish each other's sentences all the time. But we ended up doing the night show for 2 hours, and I was scared because I had never literally been on a show. The La Mojo was just like a 5-minute thing, and that was it, but on this, it was actually going to be on air talent. And I was like, I don't know if I could do it. And he was like, "You got this. It's okay. I'm not going to let you fall. I'm not," so basically he kept me going, and we had fun. And then, once we did that, we started doing that part. And then we did that for a year. And then from there, he's the one that came up, "Hey, let's do a morning show. I would love to do a morning show."
Yeah, I was going to ask
that.
How did the morning show come about?
And I was like, I said, "I guess so. Hey, if you think we could do it." And luckily we had good jobs that were willing to work through our schedules, which we still do, and I'm a licensed independent claims adjuster. So the company I worked for, the hours would change. I could change it anywhere as long as I was doing my time.
Yeah.
So we said, "Okay, let's do it." So shout out to our amazing friend Tristan. I know he's on there, the Hano man. He was the one that was talking to us to bring us on. And then Mr. Andrew Pulido, the owner, met us and said, "Yeah, it's going to work." And so I had them, and then the whole Hot Tejano crew, shout out to all of them. They supported me 100% before, to keep moving and going. And then we ended up going to the morning show, and we started, and it ended up being 3 hours in the morning. And we would end up, it's not script. We go on the air and we do what we do. I can just say it. And I have a motivation word. It actually started out on the evening shows where it was final thoughts. Like right before we'd get off, he said, "Hey, you got final thoughts?" And I would say, "You know what, I got." So I would encourage, remind people, don't forget your elderlies, because we see a lot that when I did insurance for 30 years. I was part of an organization, Women's Insurance, and everything we did, like you do the banquets and fun, whatever was
Mm-hmm.
left over, we took to the nursing homes and gave them
Nice.
out to all the people there. That's what
Yeah.
we did, and we loved it. And so, but a lot of them I realized don't have families. So
Mm-hmm.
the final thoughts was about, remember to take care of your pets. They're outside, even if they're not yours or outside, it's cold. But don't forget to take care of your senior citizens and your elderlies,
Yeah.
because a lot don't have families. That's
Yes.
how that became. And so when we did the morning show, we came up with doing a motivation word of the day. And that's where that came from. And then Suavecito came up with the sports corner, because people love sports, and people, it was just an encouragement, and where it started out to encourage people every morning. I'm to of all people, then my son, shout out to my baby Tony B on there. And
Mm-hmm.
but it started out to be to let people know that I'm just like you. I'm not
Yeah.
any different, because
Mm-mm.
being in this industry, you people automatically assume, oh, they're big musicians, or big, they got it all, and they're not like us. Well, listen, that's
Yeah.
not true. As long as I've been in this business, me and Suavecito have been together 8 years, and
Wow.
so we've been doing this for a long time, and I learned so much. But the morning show, I never thought it would take off the way it did, for the fact that I had never done it before.
Yeah.
And so thank you to, and that's how that became. And I didn't know a lot of people. Honestly, I knew the music, I knew Tejano music, but I didn't never go to events and know who they
Oh,
were,
okay.
because back then it was CDs and cassettes,
Oh,
so if
yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
hear it, I'd hear it. And,
And
but for my biggest supporter is my Lupe and my
mm-hmm.
kids. And
Yes. Yeah.
Suavecito is my family, so I have
Yeah.
them as the greatest big support, and they help me all the time. Because I'm telling you right now, when we do fanfare, I'm stage fright, can't do
Are
it.
you serious? Really? Oh, wow.
You can. I'll always tell Suavecito, you do all the talking, we good.
Oh, nice.
But I'm
Nice.
learning. I'm getting out of it. I'm learning. But
Yeah.
and in the mornings, I do the TikTok. I could do the TikTok because I don't see nobody. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
fine. The only
Yeah.
person I see is you.
Yeah.
And but that's how that became. And I did photography for a while, and I started doing that back in 2018 when I started helping my cousin. And I
Uh-huh.
actually took a couple of photography courses online. But yeah, that pretty much my thing. My passion was but I love my family, and I try
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make time for my family.
Of
But to
course.
start out, I had no intentions. I had no idea what God had planned out for me,
Mm-hmm.
because I was going through a dark time before I ended up going into any kind of radio. I was in a dark
Yeah.
place, and didn't, just one day at a time, and thought, okay, I'm
Yeah.
never going to do. I didn't go to college or anything. I did insurance for 30 years, and that was just to raise my kids and support them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
You
did
do
what I
what you
had to
had to do.
do.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, my kids are grown now, and it was like, okay, what do I do? And it's just
Yeah.
it was so coincidence how my cousin reached out to me, because he was going through some things, and it's like God said, hey, y'all call each other. And he called me. He was like, what have you
Wow.
been up to? I said, nothing. And that's when we came that he wanted to start doing his own app driven station, but it didn't go anywhere. And he has
Yeah.
his own company. He had to take care of his business first.
Yeah.
And then with the Tejano Gold, it was just kind of back and forth. But
Yeah.
once I landed in the radio with Suavecito and Salicel, I had found my home. But it was more of a promotion and photography. I like that,
It
but
wasn't. It wasn't like the music or the on-air personality, like you said. So I want to go back and you touch base on the music part of it. Like you said, you never really did concerts. You never did really anything like that. So how did music play a role in? Did it play a big role in the position that you have now with Suavecito and being a part of this radio station?
honestly, it was just Suavecito calling me one day.
Yeah. So it wasn't
Only
like you
because
said, wasn't.
he
review the
had came.
music. It was,
Apparently, they had found out we had did a big event, and it turned out really well. And he
mm,
would see the pictures and promoting the other, radio stations, and he would look through. I guess he went through my photos, and he liked the way I took photos.
yeah,
And that's when he reached out and said, "Hey, how do you feel about being a part of our team and being our photographer and our promoter? And we can
yeah,
promote, because we need that." So what I did, I started doing that. But the music part, I grew up with the Hano music, Norteño music. Found
okay,
out, I know my uncle had his own band, and my cousin Gabe, he's still a DJ. I have DJs families in my family, and
yeah.
but to say that hey, I want to do it would never cross my
Yeah,
mind.
it wasn't about, the concerts or the shows or the music necessarily. It was
Mm-mm.
kind of, it fell in your lap. It was
It,
something,
it
like you
it
said,
was
it was
a it was
Suavecito calling or telling you,
it
hey,
was
we're going to do this. I think you can do it. I know you can do it. We're doing it. And
yeah,
now here you are, right?
and that's exactly how it went, and when we, whatever Suavecita did, I was part of it. And
Yes.
and and it was crazy because I love Lolos. I love lowrider cars. So when
Yeah.
I ended up being part of the Passion Rides Car Club, just taking photos, oh my God, it was so much fun. And I was
Yeah.
having the time of my life because at the time I hadn't met Lupe yet, and my kids were grown, and I was kind of just,
Hmm.
and then that was like right before and after COVID. So,
Oh, yeah.
and so we were kind of like, even during COVID, we couldn't do terrestrial radio because of the fact that, TikTok wasn't available yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
so
do you still do photography, or you kind of
I
don't?
do it. I do it sometimes. I haven't done it in a little
Okay.
bit for the fact that uh, it's hard to see with glasses, and and so
Yeah.
unless it's real big. But I have uh, I still do it. I love, like, even now I
Okay.
take pictures with my phone and posting
Yeah.
things and try to just be there for everybody. And but as far as photography, yeah, when Suavecito and Celicel would do weddings and quinceañeras, they would say, "Hey, we have a photographer if you want to hire her." So for a
Yeah.
while, I was doing photography while they were DJing, and
Okay.
yeah, and it was fun. And for what's bad about it is that I tell everybody I'm real quick about judging myself. Oh, I
Hmm.
can't do it. I don't
We're
like
our
it.
own worst
Yes,
enemies.
we are our own worst critic. And to
Yes.
have a great support to say you can do it. It's good. I like it, and
Lupa says you need to use the high-end cameras he bought you.
yeah, he did. He went out and bought me a brand new camera, and it was just like, oh my God, it's too much. But I still take photos and things like that, and it's a challenge. I'm gonna tell you right now, what I do every morning is a challenge for me.
Yeah.
But our biggest thing is that we are consistent. If we don't stay consistent, then we lose the crowd.
Yes.
And I'll tell you a funny story. This is how I know that I've never been in the music industry, like radio and all this. This is a funny one, and this happened the first time, okay? We laugh about it to this day all the time. When I came on board with Hatahano, we had an event in Buda at Mavericks, okay, dance hall in Buda. And
Hmm.
I think it was David Lee and Eric and Masord. It was a double one, and it was pretty cool. Never been anything, but to know that we were part of it, I had never been. That was the first time I'd ever been on stage. And
Hmm.
shout out to my whole Hatahano crew family. They take care of me like unconditionally. They take care of me. And we are up on the balcony, and so they say, "Hey, it's time for y'all to go down and introduce the artists, and Sunflower, we're gonna walk you down." And I'm like, "Walk me down? Why you gonna walk me down for?
I ain't
I'm
going
fine.
nowhere.
I got it." No. So I had all the Lupe and all the crew. We all walked. Suavecito was in front, and he was going. And as we were walking through the crowd, because it was really crowded, some man grabbed me by my shirt and pulled me back, scared the crap out of me. And I looked, and he said, "I just want to say hi to Miss Sunflowers." All the men was like,
Wow.
You don't have to grab her like that." So
I
that
know.
was the first time I freaked out. I was like, "What the heck?" And I was looking at it like, this man just grabbed me out of the crowd. He
Wow.
didn't mean anything by it, but he wanted me. And for me, for the first time, I didn't say hi to nobody. I was just kind of like I was scared. My thought
Yeah.
was, what if I fall off the stage? What if it was just like crazy stuff.
Thinking of all the
But
worst, right?
and it was crazy. And so anyway, we did that, and then we were somewhere else. I can't remember where. And someone said, "I want your autograph," and I'm like, "My autograph?" Yeah. And so I thought, dang it, I got to practice my name because I don't know how to do autographs.
I gotta practice my signature.
And so, but I did that. But to say that I had all this in my history coming up, no, I didn't.
No.
This was
Yeah.
something that I say God's blessing, and
Yep.
it's crazy. And then when I met Lupe, now he's part of the team, and he
Yeah.
is my biggest supporter. He makes sure I'm on point. I don't have
Yes.
nobody doing my makeup and my hair. I gotta do that crap myself.
I know that it's rough, girl. It's rough
I'm
out here.
telling
We
you,
don't got
it's
our own
rough.
makeup artist or hair artist. I
I
would
tell
love
it.
to have
Hey, I
that.
tell everybody in the morning, what you see is what you get.
That's right. You take it or leave it. If not, keep
Oh my,
scrolling. Keep
yeah,
scrolling.
yeah.
Oh
It's
my goodness.
crazy,
So
but
it's been what, 8 years now that you've been with now the Hot Tejano or just with Suavecito
with Suavecito it's been 8 years, but with Hatahano it's been
since
we're
20.
going 22, 4 years,
Okay.
going on 4 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that you went from having the evening station and then going to a morning station.
Mm-hmm.
You have your final thoughts, your motivational word of the day. Y'all have all of this stuff. Do you think that having these things, your final thoughts, your motivation word of the day, is that what sets your shows apart from any other shows?
Yes. For the fact
Absolutely.
that, yes, absolutely. Because of the fact that when we do our morning show, it's not script, but we know what we talk about.
Yeah.
We pretty much know when we get on in the mornings before we get started, Suavecito will let me know, hey, we're going to talk about this. Or we come up with
Hmm.
a crazy topic for the morning and we stay on it. I have a country sound that I don't hear it, but they hear it. I get called
Yeah.
out all the time about my country slang, and I
Yeah.
don't speak Spanish. So there's
Uh-huh.
words that I struggle with, and that's what makes the show funny. And then
Hmm.
Suavecito will do his little R&B wannabe songs, and he'll make fun of
I
some
love
word I come
it.
up with.
Yes. And
And then
sometimes
I
I'll
have,
tune in. I'll tune in when I'm at work and I'm trying to listen. I have my headphone in and I'm like trying to listen. And then
yeah, and
somebody
then
catches me. I'm like, dang it.
like Sarah goes, thank you for coming on, Sarah. And we do have that chemistry because we'll talk about all kinds of stuff, and usually we'll get people that'll come on our text line and we'll ask a question, so we start answering with that. Like last week we were laughing because I like to eat menudo and crackers. People are like,
Oh my
what?
gosh. Girl.
Oh yeah, people are like,
Woo.
not. I said, look, I eat it with crackers. I'm sorry, or corn tortillas, but
Crackers.
yeah. And so everybody makes fun of me for that. And so anyway,
Suavecito, come get your girl. Come get your girl,
yeah,
Suavecito.
they all said they crackers, and I said, yeah. But we talk about weird food. We talk about whatever comes in mind.
Yeah.
And at the end, after he does his sports corners, we talk about the sports. He's got all. I'm gonna tell you right now, he has all the ladies listening to Sports Corner so they can talk to their husbands, and so
Oh,
that
okay.
way
He's
they
a little
interact
coach.
on it.
Okay. He's
And
coaching them.
so,
Okay, I get it.
yeah, and then
All right, I got you, brother. I got you. Oh, that is too
yeah,
funny.
yeah. And then we have and we do, and it's crazy because after we do his sports corner, because I announce him as he announces me for my motivation. But
Yeah.
we have corny jokes. I come up with the corniest jokes. I think they're funny, but they say they're corny. He'll either
So
give me
you have dad
crickets.
jokes or what? Are they dad
No, I
jokes?
just pull them up and they're PG jokes about anything, and
Yeah.
if he don't
Yeah.
like it, he'll give me that cricket sound in the
Oh,
background.
no.
Or
So tell us one of your jokes. Tell us one of your jokes.
oh no, girl, I have to look them up. You got to tune in and hear them jokes.
Exactly. Tune in. What are the hours? I know you told me this morning, 7 to 10 or something
We're
like that, right?
we're 7 to 10 Central Standard Time. We're on TikTok Live. We're on Suavecito's TikTok, and we
Yes.
go live together. There goes my fam, my grandbaby. She said, I want to
Yes.
hear a joke. You ain't gonna hear one.
So I
And
know there's a lot of family that you have on right now. You got a lot of your peeps, your Hot Tejano
yeah,
family that's logged in. They're in the chat. If you have any questions, leave it in the chat. We'll
y'all want to
definitely
know
we'll make
something?
sure
Hey,
to
if y'all want to
answer
know
it.
something about me, y'all better ask right now because y'all ain't gonna get it
Yes,
no other
ask.
time.
So
And
we appreciate everybody joining the live, making sure you're sharing, making sure you're tapping. Any questions, put them in the comments. We'll make sure to get to the questions. So
hey, and
what
I
is
am
what?
gonna tell you PG questions. Ask me PG questions because I'll get some
Yes.
crazy ones on
So
there once.
I bet. So JP wants to know: are y'all on public radio or just on TikTok? TikTok.
We are actually app driven station and
Okay.
internet radio. So if you go on your app's Play Store, download Hot Tejano and you can listen to it
There you go.
24/7 wherever you go. You can see it. There it is right there. That one says Hot Tejano. You can do
Yes.
that. That's the website, and then on your Play
And download
Store,
the app.
just download the app. It's Hot Tejano app. There you go.
Yes.
And
And anybody who's in the chat, I'm sure there's a lot of your family and your friends are in there. If you haven't downloaded the app, go and download it now. Go follow Suavecito on TikTok, Sunflower Rodriguez, Hot Tejano on TikTok, and tune into their morning show. I try to catch it whenever I can. Usually I'm already at work by that time, settling into my desk, drinking my little cafecito. So yes, y'all make sure go and follow and share, tap all the good stuff, y'all, because this is how this community grows. This is how
yeah.
our app driven radio stations grow, is by you guys and going, sharing, liking, and downloading the apps. We stream on TikTok Live and Hot Tejano app weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That is DJ Suavecito, Sunflower Rodriguez from
Mm-hmm.
hottejano.com, y'all. I am so excited to have Sunflower, that she accepted the invitation. We're having a great conversation. Make sure you guys tap, tap, tap the screen, share,
Yes.
follow, all the good stuff, y'all. Welcome in everybody. Well, we kind of went over how she got started in the industry. She's been in the industry for about 8 years with
Mm-hmm.
Suavecito, but been in radio for the last 4 years, right?
The state Hot Tejano. I've been with them
Yeah.
4 years.
Yes. So, what is the most rewarding experience that you've had since being with Hot Tejano?
The most rewarding thing is having a brand new family. Hot Tejano is my family.
Yeah.
That was the first foremost, is having them as my family, because without a family with support, we all take care of one another. You could easily be in any app, but if you don't have a great family to support one another, then it ain't gonna work. And with
Mm-hmm.
them, they always make sure and I'm gonna put it out there, so obviously I'm just gonna tell you, and Lupe, I am the first lady of Hot Tejano, radio personality, on air, DJ.
Ah,
But
there you
and
go.
they gave me that one. So but it's yeah, it's not easy. I mean, you literally have to be committed. But the thing
Yes,
is that I love doing what I do,
I
and my
love it.
family. Yes, I'm the first lady of Hot Tejano. You tell me that all
Absolutely,
the time. But
absolutely.
they
Claim it.
all
It's
make
yours.
sure that they take care of me. And
Mm-hmm.
it is very, very consistent, but you have to be dedicated, because there's times I come on, I'm sick. Like the other day,
Mm-hmm.
I had allergies real bad, but I still came on because
Yes.
I love doing what I do. My motto
So
is I love what I do and do what I love.
I love
And
it.
and
So
but
if that's one thing you can tell anybody that's, in the chat, or, once somebody that's going to watch the replay, whether it's a female, a male, what would you tell them in order to, make it in this industry, make it in the app radio station industry, or even in the radio station in radio industry in general, is consistency?
it's to make it, um you have to be positive about everything, believe in
Mm-hmm.
yourself. You cannot not believe, like you said, we are our own worst critic.
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, I go through it sometimes, like, man, I can't do this. I need to find something else to do. But
Yeah.
I started learning that I am positive, and I tell myself, God's got me. I got to
Yes.
trust the Lord. He's got a journey for me. But for me, you have to be consistent and you have to be dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do it. I mean, as long as you put your mind to it, don't tell yourself, I can't do it. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. you can do it as long as you work hard on it. I've worked very hard to be where I am today. Because let me tell you, and for you that even knows, it is very hard for a woman in this industry.
And that was
Because
going to be,
regardless
yeah,
of what you're doing, it is very hard. Because when I first started, I'm going to put it out there. When I first started, men, for us ladies out there, even the female artist ladies out
yeah,
there, it is very hard for us because a lot of times men don't want to communicate with the women.
absolutely.
I've had a lot of men pass me up and go straight to Lupe or Suavecito because, hey, I'm. So it made me feel like I was kind of like on the bottom of the totem. Like, okay, well, maybe I'm
Yeah.
not I'm just here. But then
Is
it
that one of
started
the
to
biggest
change.
challenges? Is that one of the biggest challenges that you've had in this industry, being a Latina, being a female in this
Hmm.
industry, is just mainly the males kind of overshadowing you or overseeing you or bypassing
Hmm.
you?
Yeah, that's the big challenge that I went through at the beginning. Even with the motivation word, when I do it, to me, I was like, man, I said, okay, I'll do it. I said, but I don't think anybody's listening. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. Nobody's listening.
Oh, they
And
listen.
then when people don't talk to me anyway, but they'd see me and I had to introduce myself, and yeah, that was it. But if they saw me again, they
Hmm.
know who I was. They go straight
Yeah.
to Suavecito or someone else or Lupe or whatever, and they would, even when we'd go hang out at Tumbleweeds and stuff,
Yeah.
people that recognized us, they would go straight to Lupe asking questions, and he would say, "Hey, you need to speak to Sunflower. That's
Yeah.
not me." So
Yeah.
as we went on in the years and doing more like the events that we've been doing, it's gotten a lot better. But us women recognize each other all the time,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh,
the
yeah.
women will come and they tell you it's hard,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's very
I,
hard. But at the fact that that was my challenge, like, okay, well, people just don't know who I am, and then I get discouraged, and then when I started doing the motivation word, it was something that we came up with, and I love doing it, because it motivates me every day, and if I can motivate one
yeah.
person, then I've
Yeah.
accomplished everything I was supposed to do. And
Absolutely. I
so,
100% agree.
yeah, and I get criticism all the time. People say stuff to me, and what's
Oof.
funny is when we're on the air and someone says something negative, Suavecito will shut them down in a heartbeat. And
Yeah.
and
And I love
that's
that. I love that you have a partner and you have that
mhm,
backup. You have that system, that support system where they're going to have your back. And
mhm,
I love that. I love that y'all have that connection and that
mhm,
rapport that y'all built over the years, that once something gets said, if anything gets said,
yeah,
they're going to have your back.
yeah,
And that's why
um,
when I started a while back, I started doing my good morning, videos, is, trying to get out of my own head, right? Trying to
yeah,
say, I can do this. I can do a live stream, because these live streams are eventually going to end up to my podcast, but
right,
everything starts somewhere. And it's us women getting out of each other's heads. And like
right,
for this month of November, it's been all about my boss babes, right? It's been about,
mhm,
interviewing women in the industries, women that I look up to, women like
yeah,
you that I'm like, wow, she's doing amazing things. Your show, the things that you do outside in the community, that's a big
mhm,
deal. So for the women that I've interviewed thus far, they just amaze me. And like you said, we see other women. I see you, you see me, I see all my girl Paula that I interviewed at the beginning of the week. It's
mhm.
amazing. What we women can do when we get together.
And it's true, and just like and it's not anybody's fault. It's just,
Oh
Lupe had
yeah.
told me one day. He says you can't let people
No.
hurt your feelings. He says you got to be strong if you're gonna be in this
Yes.
industry, and that's
Ooh, I
exactly
learned
true.
that real
And
quick. Real quick.
because I
Yes.
get in my feel
Yes.
like, oh, somebody was talking bad about me today, but I've learned to where I'm happy with myself. I have confidence
Yes.
in myself, and as long as I believe, I'm unstoppable. And that
Absolutely.
and that's how
Amen.
and
Amen.
that's
Yes.
my motto. I have to tell myself, because keep believing in yourself, because when you believe in yourself, there's nothing that you can't do. Nothing is impossible. Everything is
Yes.
possible when you have God
Yes.
walking with you in faith, because you're going to
Yes.
make it. You just can't give up, because I'm going to tell you, there's times I get wanted to give up, like, I don't want to do that, and then I stutter. So when I
Yeah.
got nervous, I would stutter, and you'd always knew when I was nervous, because I'd start
Oh my gosh.
But for you, what you're doing, hey, I'm very proud of you, and kudos to you, because you doing your podcast, you're giving the I've been watching the ladies you've been having, and you're giving
Yeah.
them, like we talk about, support all small businesses.
Yes.
So you doing
Yes.
that helps them out, because
Yeah.
someone was watching and say, hey, you know what? Because that's
Yes.
exactly how it is with us. And my, we've been doing, like, we do fanfare, we get out there, we work. That's one thing I can
Yes.
say. It's a working job. So,
Yes. Yes.
but what is so rewarding to me is that it's when we do fanfare, whatever events that we do, that someone would literally come looking for me.
Yeah.
Hey, I love listening to you.
Yes.
I love y'all show. Or they're looking for me in Suavecito. They're like, man, we love the morning show. But I get that one person that says, hey, do you know how much your word meant to me today? That I was so in a dark place that one word brought me out. I had a
Absolutely.
gentleman, he's with us every morning. I'm going to shout him out. Shout out to High Tech. He sent me a message one day and said, I was struggling with a lot, and I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to think of anything, because I was struggling, going through stuff.
Yeah.
He said, but I started listening to your motivation word, and you've taught me to listen to God. You've taught me
Yeah.
to talk about, my faith, and we started going to church. And broke my heart, because it was like, okay, I touched one person. I know I've touched a whole lot, but for one person to know that I made a difference, because people aren't listening to me. It's just, I'm just doing a word.
You would
But
be surprised. You would be
yeah,
surprised on how many people are listening, and we can go back and look at the views and the analytics of all that stuff, right? Yeah, all that doesn't matter, because like you said, as long as you're that one person, and even if you don't know if you reached that one person, out of all the 10, 15, 200, 300, 400 people that are watching, right? Something good is going to come out of that.
Yeah, and like Suavecita says, she has been such an inspiration to so many people. And
Yes.
I try, just to say real quick, not to get off track, I went through a very hard time in my life that I found the Lord. I'm not saying that, people talk, I'm not saying that, I was raised as a Christian, as a Catholic, and I love being a Catholic. I'm still a Catholic, but I had to find peace somewhere. So I ended up becoming a Christian, where I love to worship. I love to sing. I don't sing worth a hoot, but I love to sing. But
Same.
and that, I found the Lord in my heart. I found there's a scripture, because I'd always tell everybody, I'm in a dark pit and I don't know how I'm gonna get out. Well, long story short, I had another cousin said, hey, go to church with me. So I went to church, and I found me a church home and a church family. And my pastors were amazing, and they're the ones that talked to me and showed me to forgive myself, and to stop and to forgive others, basically.
Yeah.
And so, that being said, I started reading devotional books, motivation words. I talk about sticky notes all over the house, and yeah, because I had to remind myself every morning, get up. God gave you another day. You got this. And that stayed with me. And I felt like I tell her, everybody goes through everything together, but everybody does it in different times. And I've met people that I thought, oh my God, I thought I was the only one dragging in that dark pit. There was other people doing it too.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so if I can encourage someone to realize, don't feel alone and don't feel abandoned, because God's with you all the time. It's a blessing by itself. And I had to ask my mom, people like to hear, he's a sticky notes.
Wake up with sticky notes on my head.
Be kind. But
that's so funny.
I told my mom, I said, the motivation word, I never thought it'd be word. She said, Mia, I think God has given you your purpose. You're his calling. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess, I could see it that way, but I don't do it I do it for me, and I share, in my lifetime, I lost my father, and then I lost a brother. He committed suicide, and I'll probably restrict you because I said that I wasn't trying to say it. And then 5 years ago, I lost another brother. He got sick. And in that time, I've had I walk around smiling. That's why I say, just because we smile, you never know what someone's going through. So
Yep.
why judge them? Why be mean to
Exactly.
them?
Yes.
You don't know what I've been through these past 15 years that I found the Lord to guide me in the journey that He wants me. I
Mm-hmm.
have met Lupe that's been a much blessing to me. That's my soulmate right there. And
Yeah.
then to be there, for each other. And I was angry at the world. I'm not gonna lie. I was angry at the world for a long time, and I had
Oh
to
yeah.
stop
Been there.
but I had to remind myself, like my pastor said, God never left you, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and so God will never leave you, and that's kind of how that came. And someone told me I was a pastor at one time.
Ah.
No, I'm not that. No,
Wow.
but
You just have that, you
that's
radiate
the
that peace, you radiate that positivity. It takes so much more energy to be mean and ugly and hateful than it does to just be happy and to be kind and to treat people with respect. So DJ
yeah.
Suavecito says Sunflowers will also be a presenter with me at the Tejano Music Awards, first time for her. What?
Yes.
All
We
right, Queen. All right,
yeah, at the
Queen.
45th Tejano Music Awards, we will be presenters. I'm excited. Last year we were at the Mundial Awards. We were presenters then, and
Uh-huh.
that was the first time I'd ever been. But for the Tejano Music Awards is like a big achievement, because that is a huge honor to be
Yeah.
part of that. And I'm scared. I'm a little nervous, but I promise you, see, if I fall, I'm gonna go by myself. We were at the Mundial Awards and we were on a platform and it was high. I said, "Oh my
Uh-huh.
God, I gotta stand up there. I'm scared." And so,
Really? Oh
yeah,
my
and so,
goodness.
and when we got on it, you couldn't tell, but I was hanging on to the back of his coat. I said, "If I fall, you going with me, buddy?" But
Oh my goodness.
yeah, and then we are nominated have been nominated for the 7th annual Guadalupe Awards for the Radio
Yes.
Personality of the Year. So we're excited, and
How does
third,
that make you feel? How no like both of these are big deals. Both to be a presenter and then how does that make you feel?
it makes me feel very not overwhelmed, but I'm in all excited and awe, because this is something, I mean, brand new for me. For someone that came from not just a photographer and promoter to be where I am today, it's a big accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
And I just would have never thought I'd be where I am today. But I'm very proud of myself and scared at the same time. But,
It's everything I've always said this, whether it's bad or good, everything always happens for a reason, and I've learned
oh,
that
yes.
over the last 6 years. I've learned everything happens for a reason. In the
Hmm.
beginning of this live, when you were talking about being a photographer, and then there was a comment that came up, I don't know what it was, but I've been here before. I've done this before. I've
Hmm.
this everything that we did right now. I know that I'm on the right path. I know I am,
Hmm. Yeah.
because I saw it already.
Yeah.
I've talked to you like this before, and
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason. For whatever reason has gone on in both of our lives. I'm just a little girl from the hood trying to make it, right? I raised my family. I'm trying to do my own thing, this doing all this on my own, trying to figure it out, right? It's little triggers like that just let you know, girl, everything's gonna be fine. You're not gonna fall off the
Oh,
stage.
I
You're
know
gonna
I'm
be
not.
okay, right?
I know, it's just,
Everything that's been set in your path, girl,
yeah.
walk it and walk it with the strut, okay?
I know, you're right. And I know that I do believe when you do kindness to others, God always rewards you. And
Yeah,
so I know that it is a big accomplishment for me, because, like I said, radio wasn't in my history thing coming up,
no,
but
yeah,
it became that part. And how honored and blessed I am, man. It was just a blessing by itself being with Hatahano now, because
yeah,
we have really blown up since we've been here. The morning show has really we're actually worldwide now. We
yeah,
get people from Canada. We've had people from Alaska. We get everybody from Texas, I mean, different, Idaho, Ohio, Florida. And every time it just is growing and growing. And there's no getting out of it anymore. There's no more
Oh,
backing out. Like, I can't, no. I have to put on my big girl pants,
that's
know
right.
that I got this. God has
Yes.
me. And if God put me through so much in my life that I handled it and I'm here
Yeah.
where I am today,
This is easy.
I'm
This,
unstoppable. So,
exactly. This stuff right here, this is easy, girl. You being a presenter, you being nominated, all that stuff, that's easy peasy. This stuff that we think is, going to happen, it's easy
mhm,
peasy. It's, I never thought I was going to, be where I'm at right now doing,
mhm,
live streams and then eventually, my
yeah,
podcast and things like that. I love music. I love all kinds of music. I've always listened to music. I've always managed to be
mhm,
outside of the industry, never in the industry, right? Like you, kind of just helping or using my voice, right?
mhm,
To help somebody else promote their new song or, showing up to their concert or things like that, and to be able to work with people in the
mhm.
industry such as yourself, it's a big deal. You mean, like just you said, people said, oh, give me your autograph or do this. To have you on my little TikTok live stream, right? For me, that's a big deal, right? And you are a big deal, and I appreciate you.
Well, thank you so. I appreciate what you're doing, and it. I love the fact that you're there and you're doing your thing and you're trying to get your podcast going. Hey, and you're doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
I look at you and I admire myself. This girl here ain't scared of nothing because she just be talking on me. I'll be like, wait a minute, let me think about it first. I got to think first.
Well, you can't tell because this whole live, you've been letting us know what's going on with you. You've been letting us know how you got started. You've been letting us know some of, your deep stuff, like, that you went through a rough patch in
Yeah,
your life, and
yeah,
that you came through it because you found, your spiritual family. You found your people. You
yeah,
found your people in Hot
mhm,
Tejano. You found your church, and
yeah.
girl, that's
I
amazing.
Yeah, and my kids, like I said, Lupe and my children are my biggest supporter, my family. And for Suavecito, he's like, we always talk about we're Tio and Tia, that's I always tell him, you're my son, you're my nephew. I tell him, you're my nephew.
Yes, I
But
love
no,
it.
he is my brother, and we're
Yeah.
besties, and I mean, we take care of one another. We have always had that great relationship. He's my family. And he
Yeah.
was there a long time ago. Before I had the blessings of having Lupe in my life. And
Hmm.
Suavecito was there when I was going through a very dark time, and the
Yeah.
support he gave me and the strength that's exactly. And
I
so
love
now
it.
I have all kinds of family. Shout out to my Hatahano sisters. They're always
Yeah.
reaching out to me, and but like my children, all I want them to do is be proud of their mama.
Yes. I
Just to
say
be
that all
proud
the
of me
time.
because
Yeah.
I do it as to leave them a legacy that one day
Thank
they can
you.
say that was my mama.
Preach,
And
queen. Preach, queen. Heck yeah. And if I had my boy in here right now, I would tell him, baby, what does mom always tell you? If your dad could do it, your mama can do it even better. And, when
yeah,
I was married, I would always tell them that. And even now, you think your mama's just out here, doing these little live streams and out in the community for no reason. No, I want to leave something that y'all are going to be proud of. I wasn't just the mama
yeah,
that stayed home and in the kitchen and did, no. I
mm-mm,
want to create something and leave you with something. Y'all going to be able to go back and watch and really understand what we're trying to build as females.
mm-hmm,
Whatever industry you're
mm-hmm,
in, whether it's med spa, insurance or whatever, right? Radio.
mm-hmm.
We're trying to build something and we're trying to leave it for our kids.
Yeah, and there's my granddaughters are in there, and they're talking about, we love you, grandma, we're proud of you. And so
Ah,
and that's what's important to me, because I actually found something I love to do, and I would have
yeah.
never thought where I am today. And
Yeah.
it's a blessing, because I always say, you're not lucky, you're blessed, and that's
Yes.
exactly how it is. You're blessed, and I have the talent and the skills have come with me learning as the process, and
I love it. I
and
love it. I see. It's crazy because everything that you're saying, it's resonating with me. You
hmm
found something that you like to do. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I like to do this. I like where I'm at. I like to be able to use my voice. And
Hmm.
you're preaching, girl. You're preaching to the choir over
Yeah,
here,
well,
okay?
because and I get what you're saying. I was a single mom for years, raising my three kids,
Mm-hmm.
and so I know what it's like to be on food stamps and Medicaid,
Yep.
Medicaid for the kids, and working, and but my kids were my world, and I was going to take care of them, and I was going to teach them respect, honor each other, and that's what I
Yes.
did. And so now, my kids are a blessing, and I tell someone's, I think my daughter says, you did an amazing job raising us, mom. And so it
Oh,
means a lot to me. So
I
when
love
they
it.
watch me on TikTok, or they hear my radios, and they know that I'm here and there doing events, they're always, telling me how proud I am. But my thing is that I got blessed a long time ago. I didn't have an education. I mean, I didn't have a high school diploma.
Hmm.
I had my three children. I landed in a job at an insurance company, and it started in the file room. But hey, you know what? I needed a job. I had three babies. And
Yeah.
so I started doing that. And within 8 years, I moved over to work into the claims department of this insurance company. I got my license to be a claims field adjuster, which I was for a little while. Got tired of
Hmm.
falling off somebody's roof. So I stopped doing that, and I ended up being in the claims department doing what I'm doing now. And so
Yeah.
for 30 plus years, this is what I've done. And what's crazy is the fact that I had no high school diploma. It
Yeah.
was just something I started. When I turned 50, I got my high school diploma. And
Wow,
so I accomplished
congratulations.
that. And so, like I said, my biggest goal is my kids are going to graduate and go to college.
Yeah.
And they did. And my granddaughter, she's going to University of Houston. She's a
All
senior this
right.
year.
All
And my
right.
grandkids are my life, and my kids, but we're blessed. And that's why I tell my kids the job that I had was an amazing job, because I retired from them and started somewhere else after
Yeah.
29 years. And that was a blessing that I didn't see back in those days, because it was very hard to work somewhere not at
Hmm.
a fast food or
Oh,
somewhere with
yeah.
no diploma. And so I got very lucky, and that's what I did. And I came all the way up. I had some struggles along, but you know what? My kids were okay.
Yeah.
And so that's where, and then, like I said, radio had nothing to do, as far as
Yeah.
I was concerned, wasn't in my life story.
Yes.
And
And now
so,
look at where you're at.
yeah. And so, and Suavecito, we were approached about Hot Tejano, and he said, we'll be all right. Do you want to do it? I said, wherever you go, I've trusted you, and I'm going to go with you. And so
Nice.
we did, and this is where we are today. And
Absolutely.
so,
That is amazing. An amazing story from Sunflower Rodriguez from hottehano.com. You guys make sure you're going to tune in, lock it in. Sunflower Rodriguez here on
mhm.
TikTok, Instagram, and on Facebook. The morning show is from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. Do y'all do
No, it's
Saturday and
7 to
Sunday?
10 a.m.
7 to 10 a.m. I said
Yeah.
p.m.
Yeah, it's 7
um,
to 10 a.m.
do
Monday
you
to
do
Friday.
Saturdays? Monday
No,
through
we just do
Fridays. Okay.
Monday to Fridays daily. And we have an amazing download the app. It's 24/7.
Yes.
Promise you, I always tell everybody, I promise you, you listen to it for about 2 hours, you ain't never going to get off of it.
There
You
you
have
go.
us
There
in the
you go.
morning from 7 to 10. So obviously through myself, Sunflower, and we're on till 10. And then a lot of times the Hunnell Man will come on during the lunch hour. But
Okay.
he's the one that handles a lot of the back behind the scenes with our, events, promotions, and all that, our contents.
Yeah.
And shout out to him. He's always got stuff for us. And then you have from 4 to 6, you have DJ Spin, and he does the 5 o'clock rush hour cocktail mix. So he jams from 4 to 6, and he's the one that I always say he's the one that works with you and keeps you from going into the road rage and gets you home safe. But he
Oh,
jams,
yeah,
and
we
then he
definitely need
has his
that.
Friday night shows, and then he has his Saturdays night shows. It's Club Hot and Street Hot, and so
Okay.
he has the weekends, plus he does during the week. But it's a constantly thing, like we're having the Hano in Paradise cruise. If you go on our Hot Tejano Facebook page, if you want to book a cruise, hey, they got a lot of artists that are going to be on there, and you're going to love it. And so we do that, and Um, but we're always doing events.
So
We have
with
a
that,
lot of
is there anything upcoming, any new shows or events, any collaborations that you want to mention right now? Anything that's upcoming?
right now, the promotion, the advertisements that we have right now, um, actually, there's some in here. Let me see, because
So for everybody who's joining the chat, we are with Sunflower Rodriguez from hottehano.com. She is the queen. Oh, wait, no, my bad. She is the first lady of Hot Tejano, okay? That's what we're calling Miss Sunflower from now on. No more queen. I'm going to be like, what's up, first lady? How can I help you, first
yeah,
lady?
yeah, right, right.
That's what we're calling Miss little lady over here.
Well, we have a lot
So
of events. If you,
Sunflower Rodriguez, hottehano.com.
yeah, if you go,
Just
we have a
stay
lot of
tuned to the
events for me to
Facebook
pull out,
page.
but yeah, if you go to the Hot Tunnel Facebook page, and if you got the app, or if you don't, download the app, and the app will show you all the events coming on, who our sponsors are. Shout out to our 3 sponsors that we have for the morning show. Ruiz Law Firm, PLLC out of
Okay.
Pearland, Texas. He's our big sponsor in the morning show. We have Wicked Customs. They're our sponsor
Okay.
in the morning. They sponsor the hot mix that we have, because we have different DJs that come on with us. The 1000s are on with us. We have DJ
Yes.
Chris the
Oh,
Mix,
yeah.
Suavecito
Yes.
DJs, Bad Boy Polido, and we have them on the with us in the morning doing our hot mixes, and
Yeah.
then what was I saying? I just lost thought. We had those, and then but if you download the app, it'll have on there all the events. You can even order merch if you wanted to.
Yes.
It has our sponsors, promoters. Shout out to our sponsors in the morning. Hey, if you're looking to grow your business, reach out to us. Go to the app and
Yes.
download. We're here to help you grow your business. So we do that, but we have a lot of events. We have a Thanksgiving food drive next week in Austin, and
Okay.
then we have um, I can't think. We have a lot of there's
So if you go and download the hottahano.com, download the app. They have a
mhm,
website, Facebook, Instagram, all the
yeah,
social media sites. You'll be able to follow and see what they have upcoming, whether it's a Thanksgiving drive that y'all are
mm,
doing, or anything, any events or any concerts that they're going to be hosting or they're going to be posted up at. You'll be able to follow them on hottahano.com. Make sure you go and download the app. It's absolutely free, guys. Why not, right? One more app to download to
yeah,
our phones, right?
yeah. Because
Um,
we have one. We have one that's the Thanksgiving night dance. That's one they'll be having, and that one's in I think it's in San Antonio.
okay.
But
Yes, good. Get it, Jay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for downloading the app. I appreciate
yes,
that.
download the app. And like I said, if you download the app, we even have a podcast. So if you don't get to hear the morning show, if you go to your Hot Tejano and you'll see where it says podcast, we record the whole show. So you're able to go back and listen to. We have a lot of people that can't make it in the mornings, or
Yeah,
they have to go into meetings. They'll listen to the podcast that we have. Suavecito uploads that podcast every day after the show. So anything you missed on the show, you can go back to it and listen to it.
there
And
you
so
go.
we have
And
that on there.
that,
And
and they're
so
based. You're based out of. Where are you based out of? I know,
uh, our we're based out of
Austin. Okay.
Austin and San Antonio, and
Okay.
we're in Central Texas.
Central Texas. Okay, good
Hmm.
deal. So,
And so
Austin, Texas. So, for
mhm.
those that have joined the live tonight, make sure you go and follow Sunflower Rodriguez, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media sites. Make sure you go and download the app. Again, it's free, y'all.
It's
Likes,
free.
downloads, it's free, right? Stay tuned. Lock it in for their morning show, 7 a.m. to
Yeah,
10 a.m., not 10 p.m., 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Monday through Friday. DJ Suavecito, Sunflower Rodriguez, hottejano.com. I am grateful that you accepted the invitation to come on this evening,
yes,
told us
yes.
how you got started. Whoa, told us how you got started, right, in the industry, right? Neither one of us came from a background of music, but, or radio or anything like that. And here we are, right? Here we are, one female to another, just trying to make it, right? Doing
Right,
it and
right.
doing it big. And
Yeah.
you are doing it big, Sunflower. We see you, I see you, and keep doing it. And you have a
Thank
great
you.
family with the Hot Tejano. So you definitely are grateful. Any
Yeah.
last words, anything that you want to tell, your family, any of the new followers that you're going to have after this live stream? What do you want to let them know?
Just want to let you know that I'm very blessed, and I want to give a big shout out to, the first and foremost is God, because God's got me where I am today. Without Him, I wouldn't have all this. I wouldn't be where I am. And I'm very excited that I'm going to be part of the presenter at the 45th Tejano Music Awards. Me and Swafacita, I'm excited. And hopefully we'll win at the Mundial Awards, because it's the same weekend. And
Yes.
hopefully we bring home that radio personality. And actually Hot Tejano's up for an award if they make it for the Hot Tejano radio, internet radio of the year. So hey, if we get that, hey, we're fine with it, because that just
So
shows that we're,
the voting has stopped already, right?
yes, it's already closed.
Voting is closed.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
But
Good deal. Good
Hot
deal.
Tejano was nominated Internet Radio of the Year. So we're hoping that we're bringing that home. And then yeah, the Guadalupe Awards. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Guadalupe, yeah, Lupe always corrects me, somebody, but the Tejano Music Awards, that's going to be great. But the Guadalupe Awards, it's the Hot Tejano Internet Radio that's nominated, and then We Are Radio Personality that's nominated, and then you have the 1000s, because they're part of the family also, for DJ of the Year. So,
Yeah.
everybody voted. Hopefully we get to bring it home. And but just keep
Yes.
doing what you're doing. Keep dreaming big, because there's nothing that you can't do. Because look at me, I didn't ever think I could do it, and I'm still doing it. So
Yeah.
shout out to my babe Lupe for being there for me, always keeping me on point, and my kids. And I want to shout out to they're funny. Hopefully we do bring it home, and shout out to my co-host, because without him I would have never got started. And like I said, I kind of had it rough at the beginning, but once I planted my feet with him in the terrestrial radio, we've been on the go. We've been stronger. We were strong then, but we even stronger now, and we ain't stopping. We're gonna keep
Absolutely.
going, and that's
You got
what
a
we
great
do.
support system. You got a great
Yes.
team. DJ
And
Suavecito from Hot Tejano. I will be hosting the Guadalupe Awards and hope to
yes,
bring
you
it home.
will.
We hope you bring
Yeah.
it home too, sir.
He's
Absolutely. I know I did my part. So
Yeah, he's actually going to MC the Guadalupe Awards, and we're excited. We're all going to be there for him. And I
yes.
want to give a big shout out to Andrew Polido and Chris Tristan, because they are the ones that believed in us and took the time to bring us on, because they knew we could offer something to them.
Yes.
And without them, man, I love them to death. They're my family, and we are always here for each other. My whole Hot Tejano family, Belinda, Sergio, Riz, both Gabriels, George, Belinda and Sergio, Emily. We have so many. Lisa and Randy for
Yeah.
being my
You
sponsor of
guys roll
Y'all
deep.
Bless.
You guys roll deep.
Yeah, you seen that at Fanfare with us. I'd be like, I'll
Oh
be
yeah.
back.
Yes. And then where I think I went to Buda for Christmas. Was
Yes,
it
for
last year?
Christmas, the toy drive we had going on.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, and but in my
We love you,
Sergio's
Thea,
voice.
in my Sergio voice. Who's
Sergio
Sergio?
is one of Sergio
Inside
and
joke.
Belinda. They're part of the ambassadors of Hot Tejano. They keep this
Oh,
brand.
okay,
They're the ones that
okay.
set everything up, and we have all our promoters. And then shout out to all the ladies at Hot Tejano Street Crew, Alta, Dee, and Teresa. They do amazing jobs. They're out there, pushing, all the events and stuff that we got going on.
Yeah.
We all work as a family, and we all contribute in every which way. So shout out to all of them for being part of my family, but most of all to
Absolutely.
Andrew and Chris for believing in us and bringing us. And ever since then, man, they've taken care of us. And that right there, I just want to say this right now. We are really excited and hoping that Hot Tejano brings home the Internet Radio of the Year
Yes.
award, because Chris had said one day, we did it all together. And I said, you're right. We did do it all together as a family, but it took two men to start it. And that was Andrew and Chris. For them to start where they are and then bring us all in to work together, that would be
Yeah.
a very big accomplishment to know that we worked that hard to get that award. So I'm praying that we get that one for sure. And
Yes.
but me and Swavasita are still praying to get ours. For the
Yes.
radio
Heck
person,
yeah,
MVP.
girl.
But it's just an honor by itself when you get nominated, and to know that people recognize you and hey, we're doing something right. And but keep doing what you're doing is my
Yes.
advice to you. Don't let nobody give you no negative vibe. Just
Yes.
keep on rolling, keep doing what you're doing because you're doing an amazing job. Like I said, you're bringing awareness to all the small businesses, the lady, even the gentlemen you've had on, and we
Hmm.
love it because sometimes, the way things are, doing the radio, we don't see anybody, but when y'all invite us to y'all's podcast, it's amazing because it gives
Yes.
us a chance to people know that we're just regular people just like you.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not a billionaire, millionaire. Hey, I work hard to get what I got, and
Yeah.
and we're all just alike, and I try to, because people be like, oh, look, I'm just who I am. I'm not, and I go and take pictures with people at fanfare. We did a lot of people say, hey, can you come take pictures? People are like, it's supposed to be like, where's sunflowers? I'm taking pictures. I'll be back. But yeah, but every year our events get bigger and bigger. And what's
Yes.
crazy is that we have to sometimes split up in groups because we
Yeah.
all can't be at one or the other. So we split them
Yeah.
up and we have an amazing team. We are blowing up. All I can say is that if
Yes.
you've not downloaded that app that you can
You
take
better
with you
do it.
everywhere 24/7, you're missing out because I'm telling you, me and Swapatito say this, it ain't like you ain't like this. We ain't and no one's got it like us. Or we come up with the crazy stuff. Ain't like us. They ain't like us.
Yeah, exactly. They ain't. You're absolutely because obviously
Yeah,
Hatamano is doing
so and
something
I've
good
met a lot of
to go ahead.
and so it's just I'm excited and they not like us. Yeah, he always corrects me, and you can tell. I'm gonna tell y'all right now because he makes fun of me. Everybody makes fun of me when I get excited and I know I'm just gonna go on. I'm gonna talk. My country comes out, girl.
You start
I
getting that little.
Yeah, I start getting that swang. He's like, oh dang,
Uh-huh.
she already got
Uh-huh.
that country twang going on right now. But it's just
Yes,
a lot of
yes.
fun. I take it as fun. It's something that I love to do with a passion. It
Yes.
makes me feel just doing it makes me feel that I can accomplish anything because I
Yeah,
keep doing what I'm doing. And like I said, you keep
absolutely.
doing what you're doing and keep doing your podcast. Be consistent. I hear that all the time.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
consistent. And I'm telling you, you're gonna explode out there. You had a lot of people on a while ago and
Yep.
you already have almost 35,000 likes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. It's
and
been
it
a
gets
great
it
show.
gets it gets bigger and bigger every time. You get more people on, and I'm very proud of you because you are doing an amazing work, and we should all
I
be proud of
appreciate
each
that.
other. But
Absolutely. And that's, again, going back to Boss Babe, November, I wanted to make sure that I highlighted going towards the end of the year, making sure that I highlighted some
hmm
great women that are doing big things in any industry, whether it's radio or like I mentioned earlier, med spas or insurance or whatever it is. I want to make sure that I highlighted all the women that are doing big things, not only here in Houston, but in the surrounding area, because it's a
yeah,
big deal. We
hmm
have such a power. Women have such a power. Women have such a voice. We don't think people see us. We don't think people hear
yeah.
us, but girl, they're watching and they're listening.
Just don't give up. That's my thing is don't give up. Just because somebody doesn't
Yes.
pay attention to you or notice you, don't give up. Do not do
Yes.
it because I was
Absolutely.
like that for when I first started. I was like, I didn't take criticism well. I'd always get
Yeah.
in my feelings. And that's the reason why I don't do TikTok live. Because I don't take criticism very well. It hurts my feelings. And I'm not a
Yeah.
person that's going to come lash at you. I'm just like, I'm good. But, you know, it's
Yes, they
just who
do.
I am. I'm just, they got eyes on you. I know.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, for the industry that we're in, you cannot mess up. We laugh
Yeah.
about it. I'm gonna tell y'all because the moment you say
Yeah.
something wrong, somebody's gonna tell you.
Oh,
We
yeah.
hear that all the time.
Yeah.
But you know what? I tell myself, out of all the people that we talk to, and I give my motivation word, and as for as many people as we talk to, I have one person that might not be happy with the way I said, but hey, you know what? That one person doesn't add up to the 3,000 that's listening to me.
That's
So
right.
I have
That's
to
right.
encourage, just because you get that, you just keep moving and you have that beautiful smile, you're always smiling. And that's what makes
Yeah.
you the beautiful person inside that you are, because you have that. We don't, you're like me, we don't judge people. I don't judge
No.
you because of the fact that I don't know you. So,
Yeah.
I
It
don't. I
takes
take
it
everybody in
takes too
stride.
much to be angry. It takes too much to be negative. I rather use all my energy and learning
Mm-hmm.
this, not because I've been this way, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning this to be happy and to let go. If I
Yeah,
can't control it, I can't. I'm going to give myself grace every day, no matter what I'm doing. And I rather do it
exactly.
with a smile and do it with a grateful heart than do it with any other way. So,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
those of you who are in the chat that just joined, them damn Mexicans, TDM, thank you so much for all the gifts. Thank you for the lives. Thank you so much, TDM,
Good
them
morning.
damn
Hi,
Mexicans,
Angel.
sunflower. We're actually hosting a toy drive, and he's the main collaborator and has
I
brought me
saw
on
that.
board to work with him. Yes, so shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining the live. I appreciate it. He stays busy too. He's always on live and
Yes.
always doing stuff. So thank you, David. I appreciate you for joining the live.
Mm-hmm.
Angel, Patty, Lupe, Suavecito, you guys have made this live so much fun. Your family members that are in the chat,
Yeah, all my
I appreciate
grandkids and my
everybody who's
kids.
joined. We had a lot to discuss during this live. Stay tuned for the replay. I'm going to post it here, and I'll also post it onto my YouTube channel, and that will all be in the description at the end
Oh,
of
you got a
this.
YouTube
Or
I
I do.
didn't know. I
I
was like, oh, I gotta
do.
go look that sucker up then. I didn't know you had so you could
Yes.
subscribe and like.
Yes, I
And
do. So thank you so
okay.
much. I appreciate you, Sunflowers, for joining the live.
Uh,
Make sure you go and download the free app, hotahano.com. Like them on Facebook, like them on TikTok, Instagram, Sunflowers Rodriguez, DJ Suavecito. Y'all, it was an amazing pleasure. I'm
it
grateful to be
was.
able to interview the first lady of Hot Tejano, Sunflower Rodriguez. I appreciate everybody who's joined the live. Stay tuned for the replay, and I'll also be posting it on the YouTube channel. If you
All
guys want to
right.
stay on for a little bit, Miss Sunflower, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate
All
you,
right.
and we're
Thank
definitely going
you.
to have to do this again soon.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody that tuned in with us. And it was an amazing interview. And I didn't get to tell you the reason why they call me Sunflower, but we'll do that another time. So,
Oh no, we can tell us. Let's go.
because
Tell us
everybody
what's
always
going
wants to know, and I
on.
want to say it so that way if you're on, you'll know how I came
Yeah.
about the Sunflower Rodriguez. And it's sunflowers with an S. It has that on there. It
Mm.
is there for a reason. Um, my mom and dad divorced when we were kids, and I was probably about 10, I guess. I can't remember. Well, for years I didn't see my dad. So anyway, when I got older, I reunited with him, and he lived in Junction, Texas. Is where my family. I have a younger sister and brother. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters. I'm the oldest, so but
Okay.
yeah, and so one day when I reunited with my dad, I went to visit another weekend. And my dad used to grow sunflowers all over the dang house. I thinking, man, it's like weeds all over the place. But it was then. So we were sitting on the porch, me and my dad, and we were catching up. And I said, Dad, why do you grow so many sunflowers everywhere? I said they're pretty, but it's like they're running wild. I mean, they were just like everywhere. And he looked at me, and my dad passed away 29 years ago. So we were sitting there, and I said, why do you grow all these sunflowers? I said, they're pretty, but still. He goes, the reason I grow them, because I have a little sister. He says, I love the sunflowers. And every time I see him, I think of you and Lola, my sister. He said, I think of you and your sister because y'all are the sunshines to my heart. He goes, and I carry you. So when I'm looking at the sunflowers, I think of you from living so far away, but I think of you and your sister and
Yeah.
his other daughters. I have and he says, and so that's where they came from. So the reason the S is on it is because of the fact that he said the sunflowers represent the sunshines that are in my heart. And I love y'all like my
Oh,
sunflowers. And so that's when I started doing photography, I had to come up with something. So I ended up calling
yeah.
it Sunflowers Photography with an S on it. So that way it's representing me and my baby sister, Dolores.
Oh, that
And
is
so
beautiful.
so that's where Sunflowers Rodriguez came from. That is my original last name, Rodriguez. And
Okay,
so
okay.
and then a few years late within that time, a couple of years later, I lost my dad. And
Mhm.
so it stuck to me, and I still see my baby sister and my little brother, and I still have my
Yeah.
brothers. But that stayed with me, the fact that, to me, you see sunflowers everywhere, but there's, people have their own reasons. But for him, I'd be like, out in Junction's all dirt, and they're just growing everywhere. And so he looked
Yeah.
at me serious. He goes, those sunflowers represent you and your sister because y'all are the sunshines to my heart. And so when I
Oh.
started just promoting in photography, someone said, my kids are like, he says, end it with a motivation word, let's go. Oh my God. And so my motivation word of the day is that you're going to be all right. But, and that's how it became. And so ever since
Yeah.
then, when I came onto the FM, so obviously it says, you need a name. I said, okay, let's do Sunflowers Rodriguez. And that's where it stayed.
And it
And
stuck.
so,
And it's perfect. It is
yeah,
so perfect.
yeah, and so that's where that came from. Until this day, everybody that's where it come from. Everybody asks, how did you? That's my daddy gave me that name. Me and my little sister. Oh, send us
That is
off, sunflower.
that's a
For a
great
motivation
story.
word, uh, my motivation word of the day is positive. Okay, the motivation word of the day is being positive. Always remember to be positive no matter what you do, because there was a reason why God woke you up this morning, and that was to be positive in everything you do. So be positive, be a loving, kind person to each other. Give that positively out of that you love in your heart for yourself, and just being positive in everything you do, because you know what? God's got your back. He's got you. Trust in the Lord, because everything's going to be good. As long as you have God, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. So believe in yourself. Know that you can make it out there. And as long as you have God in your right hand, He is never going to leave you or forsake you. So remember, seek God, trust God, praise God, love God. Amen. In 5. So may you have an amazing evening and be positive in everything you do. So
I love it. That
yeah,
was great. Thank you so much again for joining the live. Thank you for accepting the interview.
thank
It
you.
it was amazing. That story in itself, it was that should have and that was amazing. How you got Sunflowers Rodriguez
Yeah.
name. And
And
I
so,
love it. So everybody who's joined the live, thank you so much. Lock it in. HotTejano.com. Download the free app. Go and follow Sunflower Rodriguez, DJ
mhm.
Suavecito, HotTejano.com on all social media platforms.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Y'all heard it from her right now. Stay positive. Thank you so much and have a good evening with Sunflowers.
Thank you.
First
Bye. Y'all
Lady.
have a great evening. Love
Bye.
y'all.
Good night, Patty. Thank
See
you.
y'all in the morning.
Bye. See you in the morning. Y'all, when I say that end, she needs to do all the endings to my lives. She needs to close me out on all my lives from now on. That was amazing. I absolutely adore her. I adored her since the first day I met her 3-4 years ago, I think it was. And she just has such a grateful heart, just a great all around. I love her. And I'm grateful that she accepted the invitation to be interviewed today. So Sunflowers Rodriguez, make sure you go and follow her on all her social media platforms. HotTejano.com. Go and download their free app. Cost you nothing, y'all. Go and download it. Lock it in. Her morning show, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then y'all know what we got going on. I got them damn Mexicans in the chat. So I got to mention, I have to make sure that I talk about our upcoming toy drive, December 14th from 1 to 6 p.m. That's going to be our toy drive. You can take toys there. You can shop the vendors that we're going to have on that day as well. Shout out to all the businesses that have already hosted a toy drive donation box. We have 12 businesses in and around the Houston area, y'all. That's a big freaking deal. We are grateful. We are blessed. I'm grateful. I'm blessed to be working with great, amazing people. Them damn Mexicans, Nicole Lopez with Radiant Society Studios. Y'all, and she's going to close out my end of the month November Boss Babes. So next week, Monday, Nicole Lopez, Radiant Society Studios, will be on my live TikTok stream. I can't wait to interview her. She is just a ball of energy. I'm just excited to have her on the show. I appreciate everybody who's locked it in so far. November, which I think it's Monday. Let me get my phone. Monday the 17th, I'm closing out the month with Nicole Lopez from Radiant Society Studios. You guys lock it in, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You want to know any information about the upcoming toy drive that Them Damn Mexicans, Nicole Lopez, me, Amanda C, are hosting through December 14th. Shoot us a message, send us a DM. If you want to host a box, let us know. If you don't want to host a box, but you want to donate monetarily, let us know. We definitely want to get you on board. The more people we have involved here in and around the Houston area, the more kids we can bless this Christmas. I appreciate everybody for joining in. Lock it in. November 17th, closing out November Boss Babes month with Miss Nicole Lopez, Radiant Society Studios. You guys have a good night. Bye.